Welcome, everybody. Wednesday, Saratoga coming up today. Win at the Horses. I'm Joe Kelley. My dad, Bill Kelley, out in Vegas. I'm 5 minutes from the track where we went through a pretty strong storm yesterday, which is, we weathered through it. How you doing out there with the heat?
Oh, we're still hot.
Yeah, you're still on.
When people say it's cooling off and it's 102,
Right.
It's hot. It's over 110.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's what it's supposed to be really out here.
Right.
Yeah.
So today's we talked about opening day. I think we're in the same spot, and it didn't happen that the weather cooperated. But today, not cooperating. The steeplechase race number 1 canceled, 1:44 start time, and we're just waiting for track conditions and scratches to come out. How do you deal with a card like this? And you said offline, maybe decimated by these scratches.
Oh, and it's going to be. Well, the 4 out of the 9 races are on were scheduled for the grass. They're off. It's interesting. Some of the, on New York Bets, the website there, they have track trends.
Mm-hmm.
And when you
Matthew
look
DeSantis,
when you look at the off the turf sprints, there have only been 2. And they've all been won by horses that are pressing. In other words, 3 lengths off the lead at the halfway mark, half mile or. And then off the turf on the chute, in other words, it goes to the Wilson chute. There have also been 2, and it's the same thing. 100% were the 2 were 3 lengths off at the halfway. But the 2-turn winner, there's only been 1, and that 2 was actually come from behind, 3 lengths, more than 3 lengths off at the halfway point. And I'm looking at this is interesting from so far this year. Off the turf sprints, no favorite has won. Off the turf chute favorites, none has won. Off the turf favorites, the 2-turn favorites, it was a. What did I say? There was 1, and it was a favorite that won. So it indicates to me, I don't know about you, that the natural reaction is to go bet the main track only entrants that are getting into the race because of coming off the turf, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
There's one race. It's an off the turfer, and only one of the horses has run on a wet track.
Wet track. Yeah.
So why don't we get rolling into the card right here? Yeah, because we've got a pretty full card, and want to welcome those who are watching us live on YouTube. And if we're on X, we may not be on X for some reason. Last week we were. This week we're gonna have to check into that. But right now, let's look at the race number 2. The steeplechase is canceled. Race number 1, and it is a maiden, 1 1/8 on the dirt. Of course, we don't know about the track condition, but this one is up in the air. These horses don't have a lot of experience. And what have you seen prior to this race? Anything that you're looking towards?
You mean in race 2?
Yeah, race 2.
I guess the favorite's going to be the 2, Save Time. And it looks like it would be a decent. It's going to be the favorite. So it's run 4 times and finished in the money 3 of the 4 times. So you certainly can can count on it to be a win place or a key horse if you were using, looking to a exact or trifecta. You could count on the two as basically a good thing. The other horse that I put in here is the 5, Refuse to Lose, with Santana up. Has run twice and both times finished in the money. 1 second, 1/3. It's a come from behind horse, which is not a good profile. So it looks like it breaks poorly. If it breaks better, maybe it can get closer to the lead by the second quarter. I don't know. I don't have any great feeling about this.
My price horse, and who knows if this horse is going to run on the dirt. We'll have to see. Pletcher, the number 3, Goodnight My Angel, has a little early foot, but we'll have to see if it can improve going turf to dirt. Second time Lasix. Another one I wanted to point out, but it's going to be close to the favorite price. It might go as the top 2. Number 6, Fazuls, and the Grandsire, Smart Strike. Depending on how much moisture is in the tracks, Smart Strike is always, offspring have done pretty well on wet tracks, so something to keep in mind.
Well, this is where you're looking at trying to pick horses, and you really don't know the condition of the track. I guarantee you right now it's sealed. Okay. So, and you said you saw a picture of the track.
Yeah, somebody was at the track. Yeah, it didn't look. But then again, we've got storms coming in like yesterday, possibly like 3 to 5, I think, today, our time. So that could cause some delays.
But it won't affect this particular race.
No.
So I would think that it's going to be you got to be up near the lead to be effective, and if we know that, I'm sure the jockeys are aware of that.
Yeah. So, this is not a race where you're going to put a lot of your bankroll into unless you're playing multis and stuff.
I will say my best bet of the day, and I'll probably should save it for later, but is the number 2 in the 8th race, Sohana. It's a turf off. It's going to be off the turf, but the 2 should stay in. And I liked it even on turf. So to me, that horse, if you were looking for one play for today, it would be, in my opinion, should be the 2, Sohana, with big surprise, Brad Cox and Pratt.
Right.
So I mean, it's listed at 6 to 1, and I would say anything 5 to 2 or better would be a meaningful bet on this one.
All right.
There are two main track only horses, or not. I guess they were in for it's hard to say whether they're going to stay or not. See, in this race, the 12 it has run on dirt, but other than that, I'm looking at the past performances, and it doesn't look like many of these. Amy's Light, the 8, has consistently run on dirt, and let's see if there's anybody else. Oh, and the 6, Baroness Bourbon, has run, on dirt consistently. The 5 has run on dirt. It only raced on dirt.
Definitely going to have to wait for the scratches.
The scratches there,
yeah. It's big concern there, but
yeah. Well, the favorite is 3, and I would say that I would probably a closer, and it's coming off. The last 3 times it's run, it's been on turf, so I would suspect that horse is going to scratch.
So that's race 8, right?
Yeah, that's race 8.
Hannah.
Yeah.
And well, why don't we jump back early in the card? Another race. This one really has a lot of question marks. The number, actually, race number 3, which has 2-year-olds, all first-time starters in this. And there's a few that actually I do have one that I liked in this one. But let me hear from you first.
Well, you're guessing here. I use a service, and they have highlighted the 4 Trail of Gold, and the other horse looking at it was possibly the 1 for Joe Sharp and Saez. Those were the 2 I looked at. I would say that looking at the workouts, that the 1 is looks like it's been working pretty well. So
yeah, the 1 and actually the horse I'm going to be interested in, the 3. It's been working really well. Yeah, had a great gate work on the 13th, and Bolt d'Oro for precocious is a really nice precocious sire. Everybody knows that by now, unfortunately. But yeah, Lightning Mama.
Yeah,
the one I'm looking at.
Let me. The dam did not race herself, so
okay.
No reading there. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're gonna have to. One, you got to wait to see who stays in.
Right.
Most of these 2-year-olds will probably stay in, but then you have to see where the money's going, because in maiden races, when you look at the stats, I think there are like 45 or 46% of the favorites actually do win. It's the highest favorite performance so far this year. So I would say look where the money's going and use that one.
All right, race number 4, 7 furlongs, claimers 16,000, and non-winners of 2 lifetime. This one, we've got a dirt race, dirt horses, and let me hear from you, Dad, on this one.
My selection here was the 8.
Okay.
And it's going from Christian Torres to Jose Ortiz. He's been riding terrifically at so far. And is he at the top of the table right now?
Yeah, I think he's right up there. Rat's up there too.
Yeah, he's getting well. It's obvious that the horses coming from Churchill Down have been doing very well so far this year.
Right.
And because he rode in Kentucky, he's getting a lot of the better selections. The one concern I had with this is that the horse has had, his last run June the 12th, and has only had one work since then at Kelley.
Right.
Not that it was a, looked like a maintenance work, but on the, the PPs, it only shows where's he been since the work was on June 29th. So that's the one question mark you gotta put in there. Did you have somebody else there?
Yeah, I've got a bit of a price in this one. The number 6, Pebble Lane, trained by David Duggan, who's doing rather well. Puts the blinkers back on, and has a second place finish on a wet track, and also has been up front or close to the pace, and the blinkers should show. Just maybe go back to that running style, turf to dirt. So David Duggan should stick around that price if the whole field stays intact. So that's my price. But I do like your horse, the number 8, second time blinkers as well.
Yeah. Again, it's going to be price. I mean, you can't go below 2-1 on this horse, in my estimation. But believe it or not, in the last 4 times it's run, it has finished one. It won one time, finished second 2 times, but it's been favored in all 4 races, the last 4 races, and so it's only one of those 4. So I wouldn't bet the house on it.
Right.
It looks like the horse to beat. It also is dropping considerably in. It's going from a 50,000 claimer winner 2 lifetime to a 16,000 winner 2. So I mean, not winner. No, you can't win more than 2. So there's a lot of question marks, but I like the move to Jose, and of course, Maker's a pretty consistent trainer.
Right.
I don't like the fact that it's lost. It's lost been beaten, favored 4 times in a row, so or only won 1 of them. So it leaves a lot of question marks.
Well, let's move on to race number 5, which is originally scheduled for the turf. It is a optional claiming race, and we'll have to see on the scratches. And I think this is the race possibly that does not have a lot of off-turf experience, with the exception of one of the runners. But did you have any feel for this race, anticipating scratches coming up?
Yeah, I really liked the race when it was on turf. Right now there are 2 main track only horses, which the 10 value area is looks to be a closer, and has been running on dirt, but it's a Pletcher. It doesn't even have hasn't listed the jockey yet, so you don't know what. And then the 11 is basically the same qualifications. Won its last race out. This is a Linda Rice horse, so you have to give the 11 Ichiban some consideration.
Right. Yeah, this may be stick to the outside, the MTOs.
Yeah.
Unless somebody surprises, but yeah. That's what you see, the 10 and 11?
Well, those are the main track onlys.
Right.
I mean, it's just quickly going through the rest of it. I didn't see any horse in the main body that they are really meant for the turf. So
Right.
I would. Yeah, the only one you might want to look at is the 5, who has been primarily running on dirt. But the rest of them, the 5 and then the 10 and 11 are the only dirt horses that I see in a race. If they,
And Horacio De Paz is just waiting to get in the winner's circle. He was sharply dressed last week. I passed by him numerous times by the escalator going in the clubhouse. But
he was dressed for the picture. Huh?
Yeah, he was dressed for the picture. Had his wife and his kids with him. So, yeah.
Hey, there is one stat going back to that maiden race. The one weird thing right now, I think Johnny V is 0 for the meet, right?
Yeah. My friend Frank, who I've been hanging with all meet, he mentioned the same thing you mentioned about Johnny V. Yeah. You think he's due or lost a step?
Well, no, I was listening to a who was it? I've forgotten what jockey was commenting on the fact. Maybe it was the Steve Bick show yesterday, where I'm drawing a blank on the name of the jockey that's always on from.
Tony Black.
Richie.
Mig.
Yeah, was saying that the thing that goes on most jockeys as they go older is their legs, almost like a boxer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But he has not seen that in Johnny V. So he says he's still pretty strong. So I think it's just a bad start, not getting the right horses, more than the jockey losing his athleticism and affecting how he rides.
Right.
So it's just a matter of time before, and he's on the 4,
mm-hmm.
the David Dunk horse. So, but he's 0 for the meet so far. So something to keep in mind.
Okay. So we're going to proceed right now to a maiden claimer, 50,000. Originally scheduled 5.5 furlongs on the turf will be switched to the dirt, and we don't know the track condition, and it may change throughout the day because rain is forecast for later this afternoon, and this goes off at 4 o'clock. So you got to be flexible. You got to be ready, and unfortunately, we may have to pass a few of the races and save up for the next 3 days.
One interesting thing that I saw in the track trends that New York Bets has up there is that there have been no favorites that have won a maiden claimer so far this year.
Okay.
So no favorite has won, and this doesn't sound like a day that would change that at all. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Did you have a pick here?
This one, I was going to go lightly. I was kind of looking at the outside, the MTO number 13, Swan, Wayne Potts. Has experience running on dirt, shipping in from Pennsylvania, and Monmouth has previously run as well. Which actually last year
was also dropping out of the main special weight.
Yeah, that's another thing. So we'll have to see. Potts won, I think, a few races last meet. And how about you? Did you see anybody?
The only other horse that I was interested in was the 2, which is a Brad Cox, and Giroux is riding him. Really didn't show much in his first race, which was a maiden special. So he's dropping out of maiden special. Didn't show any speed at all. So it's a big question mark. But it's a ghost zapper, and
right.
Ghost zappers will run basically on anything. And I'm just quickly looking at wet. It looks like it will run on wet. So I know 2 and your 13 look like a pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say about your 2 that if you want to have a little encouragement, this one went off as the favorite in its debut at Churchill, and they kept the horse on the dirt. It was scheduled for the turf, so
they didn't. So it was an off the turf, or
yeah, the debut. So they didn't save it. I mean, run for another day. So
well, the bad news is it didn't do any running. So you got
that's true. Yeah.
So and it also shows me that Cox really wants this horse on turf. So we'll have to see.
A lot of puzzles. I sense a lot of wait and see and indecision with us so far, but it's good. Maybe a good day.
I don't know. I would play very lightly on today and hope that tomorrow's better.
Yeah. Hey, let's move along right now. A starter race, 7 furlongs on the dirt, race number 7 at Saratoga. And this one, do you see anything in here that you like, especially on a wet track if it gets wet later on?
Yeah, well, this race is. I had originally looked at the 10 way outside with Saez for Maker. Maker's got a lot of horses that are look like they're on the bubble to win, and this horse has won 5 times out of 9, so it's certainly a horse to. But it's one of the favorites anyway. The other horse that was a 4. What is the 4?
The 4 of this race.
She's awesome.
She's awesome. Rudy Rodriguez and Tyler Gafflin. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a. I mean, Tyler's only run for Rodriguez 3 times. He won once, but it's not a combination that you normally see. So that's one to keep in mind.
I've got a couple in here. I've got Rudy's brother.
I saw that with Pratt.
I'm Buzzy. Yeah, with Pratt, I'm Buzzy. A recent claim from Pat Reynolds, and we'll have to see if any of the magic is worked in the barn at Gustavo
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. They've been pretty busy up here, the Rodriguez brothers. So another one I was looking at. Well, Gary Contessa with the number 3 Kelley start shows a great work on July 1st, which is a couple weeks ago. But there's one more that I had. Okay, this is my long shot of this race. Early speed, pretty good form. New trainer, number 6, Jackie the Joker, with Wayne Potts. Another Potts selection, not intentional, but yeah.
They're all everyone you've mentioned. There's very comparable horses. I mean, they certainly fit in this spot. So. The Potts is what he's 16% with first race with him. So not a bad. It's actually higher than his 11%. He's been winning at 11%. And in this particular category, first time with the trainer, it's 16%. So there's some positive angles there that you can
actually
do
this looks like a pretty good race to get involved in. One more that I mentioned, the number 9, she caught my eye. Linda Rice and Jose Lescano, who's a good rider up front on a sloppy track. And this horse, the last 3 races, was scheduled to run on the turf, stayed on an off track. Looks like it may not be in the best form, but has had a good layoff since October. So,
yeah.
Let me look at the work. Well, nothing to really speak
Right.
about on the works. So this is I would look for a horse like what was the horse that you had? The 1?
Yes.
And
on the rail.
And the 3 is
12-1 on the morning line. So it's interesting. One of the other stats that you see is that so far this year, 8 above, or I'd say above 10-1, only 9% have actually won. 10-1 and above. So these long shots, they can make your year, really. I mean, if they come in for your meet, but they don't win all that often,
Right.
But this is a race you can look to make a score on, because
any one of these horses is liable to win.
We've got the scratches are in, so rather than announce them straight through, there's a bunch of scratches. Either pull up Equibase.com for today's changes, or Naira Bets has them up there. So we're on the 8th race. We got 2 more to go in our handicapping. The featured race was scheduled on the Inner Turf, the New York Stallion Series, New York Stallion Series Stakes. This one is going to be on the dirt, and there's 5 scratch. I can announce for this race, we're taking out the 3 Solo Shot, number 7, Spirit of Esther, number 9, Being Betty, number 10, Bossy Jeans, and number 12, War Terminex. So I don't know if that affects how you saw things, but
there were 2 also eligibles there, 11 and 12. Are they staying in, or?
Yeah, they're in.
They're in.
Oh, the 12 is out.
Okay. Let me take a quick look at this. Well, again, I mean, you look at the 11. It's only run on turf, so you really don't have. I mean, it doesn't look. I mean, it looks like a turf horse more than anything else. So I would throw that horse out.
Yeah, you're 2 Sohana still.
Yeah, this horse, depending on the price. I mean,
right.
It looks like when you compare its dirt or its turf breeding versus dirt, the dirt is actually higher, and it doesn't lose anything in being wet. So I would say the 2 still remains in as a possible horse to play. The 3 did come out, so
right.
So I think we covered that, and my system has the 2 as a long shot. Well, it's not going to be much of a long shot
and the fair odds I see on it are 8-5. So anything above 8-5, that looks like a play.
Okay, so also, do you see anybody else out of this race, or are you going to focus on keying on your number 2?
I'm for myself. I mean, the 4 is is going to be a good horse to consider. And the 9 is up. So the only other horse I would look at is the 4, and maybe the 5. Let me look at the 5. I hate to be stubborn like this, but when you look at the races and they come off the turf, it's so difficult to. You're not analyzing the race
properly.
Properly. Yeah. This horse, this 5 is somewhat interesting. It's only run once down in Gulfstream, and it won. It was last out May 16th. They had an excellent work on May 31st, and has been working up at Saratoga, which is also another plus. So
right.
I would take a look at 2, definitely. 4 and 5 are the other possible plays.
All right, we're going to conclude with race number 9, which again was scheduled for the turf for maiden claimers of 40,000 maiden claimers, and this one, I believe, it may be switched to a mile. The
mile in the chute.
Now they haven't announced yet, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But I do have the scratches for race number 9. The 1 is out, which leaves the 1A as the only one for the coupled entry. The 3, Lions Miracle Mo. Number 8, American Kestrel. Number 10, Fantasy Performer. Number 12, Perfect Girl. Number 13, Paid the Bills. And number 14, Summer Festival. So the field is.
And the 15 goes in, right?
Let me check that. Yeah, the 15 is in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a Linda Rice and IRAD.
Right.
So you got to consider that. When you look at it ran once on a muddy track at Aqueduct and finished 10 lengths off 4th. So it's not, well, these are maidens. So as I said, no maiden claimer favorite has won in the meet so far. So keep that in mind.
So are you gonna try to challenge Linda Rice's horse? Or you're looking at this one pretty strong?
No, I'm. I would say if the 15 is the favorite, I'd stay away from him. He's run 7 times, finished in the money 3 times, so it's not a donkey, but it's got a long way to go, really. The horse potential. Who is the 9 is the one that probably has the best breeding for a wet track. Here's a horse. Again, it's your buddy Rudy Rodriguez and Pratt.
Right. Oh, yeah. There you go.
And then, but you look at the horse. It first ran that Turf Paradise on the synthetic, right?
Yeah.
Then it comes to Laurel, runs a mile on the dirt, and really didn't show him. He had some early speed, but then faded badly.
Mm-hmm.
Then he ran on turf, so they don't have a clue.
Yeah, and the stable's Jumping Jack Stable. So, apropos.
But it does have Pratt, so there must be something there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd take a look at to see where Pratt, if Pratt was on any other horse.
Yeah, I was looking at a couple possible horses to challenge the likely favorite. The number 5, Looking for Ginny.
Yeah, that's the one I zeroed in on. Yeah.
Yeah, and McPeak, and coming out of Churchill. We'll go with the Churchill is doing well angle, and another maiden claiming Jose Ortiz, and also the number 4 with some early speed. Mike Maker is running.
Taco lady.
Yeah, the Taco Lady. So, you probably look at these prices being halved from the morning line, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, again, you got to look. I mean, I would follow the money in these races because, particularly in a race like this, a maiden claimer, anybody can jump up and win.
Right.
I wouldn't take a short price, but I would follow the money, see if there's, something that 4 is dropping a lot in class, so it's definitely one to keep in mind. I wouldn't go below 3-1.
Right. Okay.
On any horse there. So.
Well, before we say goodbye, how'd you do the first 4 days of the meet?
I would say I ended up on the losing end of it, but close enough to one more win would make me even or above. So
right. Well, that's a decent start considering a lot of people.
Yeah.
Maybe their
I
head
had
underwater.
one winning day. I think it is what. An actual plus day, I had one, but I was like losing $6 or, at the net, it was very small. So I would consider a good start.
Yeah, good start. And I only had one winning day. I had the Disco Dino, the Finger Lake Shipper. So that was a good hit. And last year, Finger Lake Shippers did awful, but that horse.
I remember that race. Yeah.
Yeah, that horse was huge looking physically compared to a lot of the field. So
that was Koa.
Yeah, K-Bar, Koa.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's had a few hits since he's come in. But yeah, this after today, I think racing should be pretty solid.
Well, one race that I looked at late yesterday on Thursday, but again, it's on the turf. But I mean, it's interesting. What interests me is that it's got all the big name trainers in there, and you're getting Brown at big prices.
Right.
So that always fascinates me. So. I have to see
that one's on the turf?
It's on the turf, yeah.
Okay. Let's hope they're ready to go on the turf again. So
yeah. I mean, it's really disappointing when you have I mean, you're going to look at the track and say, why the hell it's not raining now,
Yeah. I'm looking right out here. It's sunny and hot and humid. I think after today, it's going to start to be real comfortable. So just one more day to deal with all this. Yeah.
Yeah. Today is like really pick your spots and don't spread,
And they, the handicappers and those at the track as well, you've got 3 hours to settle into the card and make any adjustments. And, so I know some of the trainers and owners are making some comments of Carrie Brian, who sent jumpers up here as well as flat horses. And she said, I don't know if you saw that, about why she's more gravitating toward the flat horses, because she said she was getting tired of preparing the jumpers and shipping them up and the race getting canceled. And I think another owner who was supposed to be in this race today, the steeplechase race, was not too happy. But it's a tough call. I'm sure they wanted to go on. But go today.
They're so afraid of a horse breaking down.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the jumpers in Europe. They run on wet ground.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. After last summer, I think there's a lot of caution going on. So yeah, but in
Yeah,
fairness, there was a lot of rain. Yes,
they had the two big breakdowns and big races. That
right.
doesn't help.
That was awful. Yeah,
but I mean, that's racing. It's I mean, it's sad, but it happens. You know. So the answer is to go to all weather tracks. Is that what we're?
I guess we're about to find out in 2026, right? Yeah, Belmont. Yeah. So, hey, Dad, thanks for joining us again. Win at the Horses. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in, whether for the entirety or this will be archived up on YouTube. So you've got if you want a little refresher, challenge what we said in there. You can go to our YouTube channel, Win at the Horses podcast. And thanks as always.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Good luck to everyone.
Yeah, good luck, and we'll have more to talk about as the meet heats up. Saratoga Racecourse. All right, take care, everybody.